Hi, I'm Daniela. In today's video, I'm going to show you a sewing tool that I find most valuable even for people who aren't really sewers. It's a little tool called a bodkin. Now that sounds like an old-fashioned term like haberdashery or something, but it's a small, inexpensive metal tool that you'll find useful in your house. It's really something that if you've ever had a hoodie or a drawstring waistband, or perhaps a bag where you have a cord threaded through, and if that cord comes undone and you're trying to thread it back through, this tool will make that job so much easier. And here's how I use it. So this tool is called a bodkin, and it's a very interesting tool. It's really beneficial for seamstresses or anybody who sews, but it's also really beneficial for anybody that owns something like a hoodie or a drawstring waistband. And I'll show you how it's used to that effect. If you've ever had to reinsert your drawstring and feed it all the way through your waistband or your hoodie, your neckband, this tool will be a godsend. So the bodkin looks like a pair of tweezers or a giant needle. The tip, which on a needle is pointy, is rounded, and this helps the material glide through the channels on a fabric waistband or the channel on a hoodie or anything you want to string either a ribbon, elastic, or cording through. And the other end is what I call the little mouth, the little chompers here, and you grab onto your ribbon or your cording, and then you just slide this rounded ring up to the end here, and that secures it, and that holds that mouth closed, that little bit chomping down onto whatever fabric you're trying to wind through. Now I'll show you how I wind through this cord on my waistband here, and this can be done on a hoodie or anything that you have, the band of a hat, depending on whatever the cording would be. So the way I do this is I take my bodkin, and I keep quite a bit of these in the house. I have about a half a dozen. Most are in my sewing area, but I keep one in the bathroom and one in my bedroom because this is where I usually find that my waistband is missing its cord or the hoodie needs to be adjusted. So I just take my bodkin and put it on the top of either end of this cord that I'm going to draw through the waistband. And then I slide my ring all the way down. So then, because I have this set up now, it becomes like a threaded needle, essentially. I want to be careful not to move that ring and unlock that cord. But then I just find the opening to that waistband, which I have it right here. This would be the same thing if it was on a hoodie. It doesn't really matter. And I want to slide that bodkin in through that waistband and just get it into that channel. I want to avoid moving that ring. And once my bodkin is in, it gives me something that I can slide my fabric around, and then I hold the top of the bodkin, that rounded point, and I slide my fabric over it. And by doing this a few inches at a time, I start to thread my band through this waistband. In this case, my lace through this waistband. This will wind up being the tie around the waist of these shorts, this skirt. So I just slowly keep working it, removing the tension. And again, I always want to keep the round part of that bodkin. I try to not touch that because I don't want to slide it back down. So I really carefully only hold the tip, and then I slide the fabric around the remainder. And I'll just do this all the way around the waistband, just going a few inches at a time. And when it bunches up, I'll just pull it around and continue this all the way around the waistband until I get to the starting point. Now I'm getting close. For these particular shorts, there's a in and an out channel, just like on a hoodie, but in some cases it's the same hole. So I just pull my bodkin, still attached to my string, and now I can just play with it to get it in the right position so that I have equal amounts of string for both sides. So again, it's just a matter of adjusting it. And when I'm happy with the adjustment, I can remove my bodkin, and my waistband is threaded. So this bodkin is a very useful tool to have around in your home, even if you don't sew costumes or clothing, just to really refeed the waistband or the neckband or the hood of any type of clothing that has these bands through it. And that's how you use a bodkin. So that's how I use my bodkin to rethread a waistband. But it can be used for any type of cording or ribbon, anytime you have to thread it through a channel. That little tool is something that you can find almost in any section of a store that has sewing supplies. And it's only a few dollars, but it does make life so much easier. I hope you found this video helpful, and if you did, please give it a thumbs up and be sure to subscribe.